So once I saw the UAP, or what I used to call UFO, I recognized, oh my God, this is why I saw it. So welcome back to another episode of Enthusiastically Spiritual podcast.
Hello, Teresa.
Hi, Tom. So I really want to share a bit today about my experience recently with seeing a UFO. I'm going to say UFO. I know they call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena these days, but I'm going to go with the old UFO, okay? Because that's what I'm used to.
Okay.
So it was a day when I was by myself in a park here in Iowa. And I recognized as I walked along, enjoying a stroll through, again, a park, that I was really connected to myself and I was really in my, what I would call my feelings, my true feelings. Okay. That kind, loving part of me. And all of a sudden, I had a feeling that I wanted to connect with my brothers and sisters, my galactic brothers and sisters. And walking along, connected to this energy, all of a sudden, I look up and there is a UFO. I saw it and then it went away. And I was filled with such happiness within me. I mean, like a lot of people are very scared of seeing something like that, but really being in my true feelings assisted me in not being scared at all. I was like, wow, look what I just saw.
Mhm.
And so having this experience really brought forth the ability in myself as far as when I'm in my true feelings, like anything is possible in all these realms that we work in and all these realms that we experience, that some may be of galactic origin, some may be of an interdimensional realms. And so recognizing when these things have happened to us, like when it happened to me, I'm like, okay, I'm a true believer.
Mhm.
How about you, Tom?
Well, I've never had an experience quite like that. Uh, although there was one day where I took a picture, a photo of a V-shaped, you might say, formation of lights. And I, I noticed that the clouds were moving and it almost looked like, it was light just peeking through the clouds, except for that the clouds were moving and that light formation, those bright lights just stayed put in a V, and then they eventually just went away. Like disappeared.
Mhm.
So my sense is that you probably picked up, from the description that you just gave us, you probably, you know, uh, which came first, the chicken or the egg? In other words, you picked up an impression. You had that loving feeling about your spiritual brothers and sisters, because that's what I feel that those um, extraterrestrials really are. I don't buy into that there's some big alien invasion about to happen or anything like that. um, I believe that, as souls, it seems to make sense to me that as souls that they would have evolved, spiritually as well as physically and materially, you might say. And, often people say, when they have encounters with actual extraterrestrials or what appear to be extraterrestrials, that there's this telepathic type of communication. So, a lot what we share about the four spiritual gifts is probably pretty similar, that we're all like radio receivers and transmitters. And it's just becoming aware of what my true feeling impressions are, because that is the language or the communication of the universe. And if I'm a soul, I'm energy, I'm electromagnetic energy or a light energy, intelligent light energy. And I would imagine that, well, it feels like those, to me, my feeling impressions or my inner knowing is that they're the same. And in fact, we've heard people share about having experiences with them where they said that, they said,
Mhm.
we're just your spiritual brothers and sisters. And, we're just growing in a different place or maybe in a different dimension.
Yeah, I think also with that, the feeling that I had of really of love. A couple years ago, Tom and I went to an experience, a weekend conference with Dr. Stephen Greer,
Mhm.
who is really all about connecting. He calls it CE5, connecting to other beings and other places. And in the way we experienced it that weekend, because we had several experiences, he did a couple meditations at night, and then we went out with like 500 people and had an amazing CE5 experience outside. Is that it is from the energy and the feeling of love. So, and if you're scared, or if you're fearful, which is what most outside influences, I'll say, pardon me,
Mhm.
wants you to experience. They want you to be fearful of it. And, oh my God, they're going to come down here and they're going to, gonna take our, everything we have and kill us all. And well, you know what? If they were going to do that, they would have already done it a long time ago, because they're always around. It's just, I'll say cloaked. I mean, you just can't see them until you're perhaps like I was that one day in that space, and being able to tune into, like Tom is saying, the vibration. And again, this is one of the four gifts. I mean, we have four gifts, and one of them is the gift of feeling, and that's say the gut feeling, my ability to really get a sense of sometimes I like to say, like, the hell's yes and the hell's no for myself, like that ability within me to know what's right or wrong, and or to tune into love or hate. And so for myself, and in being in this body and having this experience, I and having these moments where I'm out by myself, or I'm with Tom and we're really engaged in our true feelings, it's there's an unlimited opportunity of exploring and seeing things in different ways, and different different moments of time that may have not I may not have been able to see if I was not in the feeling of love. How about you, Tom, with the feeling of love?
Well, that's what Dr. Greer talks about, is, working with that heart energy, or the heart chakra, and communicating, sending that message, or that feeling of love. And we work with that in spiritual healing. It's all about uh, sending a positive energy, or a positive feeling. So I imagine that when I tune into my guidance and I ask them questions about, extraterrestrials or UAPs and UFOs and so forth, and they said, on the spiritual side of life, or in the dimension that they're in, they say it's even weirder and more wonderful than you can imagine.
I
And
bet.
based on your concepts of where you are physically, and what's happening. But I remember as a young child seeing all sorts of different types of energy at night, or in my room. And as I shared in one other episode, I had to like talk myself out of not seeing these apparitions, you might say, or different types of energy. And it didn't, I wouldn't. There were all different variations. It wasn't just one sort of form that I saw. There were some that were more consistent than others. And I really wonder now, as I was tuning into, my spiritual helpers. I was tuning into maybe other energies or souls that might have been around, or tuning into even extraterrestrials, or even beings in other dimensions. So I'm at this stage of my life, I'm just becoming open to those ideas more than ever before, and there seems to be a lot of evidence, Congress has looked into it, and, it's essentially, it's out in the open. There are UAPs for real, and I think that the big question is, do they have, do they have evil intent, or are they malevolent? Malevolent? Yes, malevolent. Easy for you to say.
I know, right?
Or are they peaceful, loving entities, or guiding us, or whatever? And however, as a soul on my spiritual journey, it's up to me to grow spiritually. It's up to me to learn from my experiences and move from that positive, loving vibration. They can't grow spiritually for me. They're not here to save us, and none of us are lost anyway. So anyways, but there's lots of wonderful questions that come up, and at some point, I'm sure we're going to get illuminated. Mankind will be more clearly aware of what has transpired, in the past, what's happening now, and what will, come of it in the future. I mean, the universe is just way too big of a place for, we've seen that with the new Webb telescope, just how mind-boggling the number of galaxies, not solar systems, galaxies, not stars, galaxies. There's trillions of
Right,
them or
right.
whatever. And it's just mind blowing. So, what are the odds we're the only school, and the only solar system that has a school? It just doesn't feel true, But, I'm here and now, and I'm focused in the here and now. I'm living in the present. It's fun to explore these topics. And what you shared with me, really strikes me that, as you were in your feelings and you were open, and it's almost like, well, you'd mentioned you'd channeled.
Yeah, I've done some channeling before with Hathors and Pleiadians and other beings. So it's not, so I'm definitely, have that connection in a, not a weird woo-woo way, but just, it was like, I mean, when I did channeling, it just came up. So it's not, to me, not weird or anything. And I think that's the thing about when you see something like a UFO, or I'll say, or something in your house that may, be there, that's not abnormal, that it's not anything to be fearful about. It's just like I said, another dimension, another reality. And so I think, but being in the feelings, like you said, in the sense of, as we all expand and grow spiritually, we're going to be open to new opportunities and exploring new places. What came to my mind right now is the Star Trek theme. The Star Trek theme. Yes, we're going to discover new places. We're going to go out. And so, but that's the key part about all that we always share, and what we do outside of this sharing, because we do other things beside this podcast, is that we love to help and support people who are sensitive to really understand how to work with their sensitivities, how to gain knowledge about their spiritual helpers and about their energy. So we have a couple offerings that we want to share before we finish in this mini morsel episode.
Mm-hmm.
Is lately I've been offering a free 15-minute one-on-one cleansing call, which has been so amazing. I had a whole slew of them last week, and it was just phenomenal. Within 15 minutes, doing this energy sequence with your guidance along for the ride, it's phenomenal. So I'm offering those, and I'll put the link down below in the show notes that you can, if you're interested, you can definitely connect with me and get a 15 minutes session. And it's just a really powerful way to shift your energy, and also just to come more in tune with, who you are as a soul, and also working with your guidance. That was one of the key areas that several people said is like, wow, I had this team and they came around and I could feel them, and just amazing. So that's one offering that I'd like to share about that. And then we'll share about our other ones. We have the Intuition Now class.
Yes.
We have a master class that we're doing every few weeks, and you can check out actually my Facebook page, Teresa Shantz's Facebook page. I have it on that, and we can put the link down below. But every couple of weeks we do another session of it. But it's called Intuition Now. It's called Synchronizing Time and Trust to Get Your Answers, and this is really all about the 4 psychic perceptions that we all have and how to work with them. And it's really a great masterclass. It's a 90-minute masterclass, but it's fabulous because we actually experience things. So it's not that we're going to be sitting there talking to you with slides for 90 minutes. No, we actually, come with you, and we do some techniques, and you get some insights, and you get to feel your gifts. It's really a dynamic way to enhance what you already are using. So even for myself, every time I experience it, or we do one, I gain more insights for myself because I'm in a different place than I was before. Anything you want to say about the class, Tom?
Yes, it's an orientation to your 4 types of perception, or your 4 spiritual gifts. And within your spiritual gifts, each of those gifts has a psychic attribute, or ability associated with it. So my first gift is a gift of vision, and I think in pictures. And so from a practical point of view, it's easy for me to see how the overall plan comes together. It's important that I see things that helps me understand things. I can almost have a photographic mind. When I see something, I tend to remember it. But also from a ESP point of view, it's easy for me to see energy like auras around people. I can tell a lot just by looking at somebody, or in my mind's eye, see what's happening spiritually. So it's not just the woo-woo, psychic part, but it's also getting a feel for, or beginning orientation to, the 4 types of perception and how we make them practical.
Yeah, and I think an important part about that too is that even though Tom has said orientation a couple times, even if you know your psychic gifts and you've been using them for years, the resonance that we have as a team and what we put together with these specific gifts, you can learn other things too. So it's not just for the beginner or the advanced person. It's for everyone that wants to come along, be with some like-minded people, and just have an exploration that might be a little different than you're used to, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to try a couple of techniques during that time period as well.
And then you know what? Who knows? If you tap into your feeling gift, feel some love, you might go outside and see a UFO. No, like I did. No,
You might.
That is one of the we're not saying that will happen to you, everyone, but but tuning into your true feelings, anything's possible. So
Well, what struck me was when you're open, spiritually, when you're open and you're ready, it's really amazing what you can tune into.
that is a good thing, Tom. Absolutely. And that's how my experience was. And I look forward to all the other experiences that are coming for the future with my continual growth and expansion. And so we love to share with you guys on this podcast, as well as, like I said, in our classes and in our 15-minute cleansing calls. So if you're guided to join us, we'll have the links down below. You can check it out. Or again, you can check out my Facebook page because we have reoccurring classes that are going on, the free master classes all the time. So anything else you want to share, Tom?
Well, just to remember
that first off, thank you all for listening to another episode. We appreciate you so very much. And if you enjoyed this episode, and if you're on Apple podcast, please leave us a message, leave us a little, 5-star, how much you liked it and what you got out of this episode or any of the other episodes you might listen to. We would really, really appreciate a review from you.
And we look forward to comments on YouTube. Maybe share your little experience. It might be similar.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. And then besides thanking you all for listening in and taking the time today, we want to say that
remember
that life is too short to not be enthusiastic about your unique journey. To keep the enthusiasm going, please like, subscribe, or comment below. We would love to hear from you.